Okay, folks, so I think things are turning around because I'm starting to put things back together and not just take them apart. So that's pretty exciting. Long story short, the chassis is painted. I'll flip the camera here in a second so you can see that. So it's painted. It actually is still wet, but since I have roughly an hour tonight, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of work with wet paint and get the motor back in because it's such a rebuild. It's worth me figuring out what I don't have or what I find else that's wrong and get that stuff in order because I have 7 days before the next autocross, or when I need to be loading it at least to get to the autocross, right? So right now, let me flip the camera like I always. There we go. And yeah, so it looks a lot better on camera than it does in real life, I promise you. But everything's been brushed on. It wasn't spray painted. It's got 3 coats of white and 1 coat of primer. And you can kind of see I just, like back there, I just stopped painting. I didn't do a super good job of cleaning, and quite frankly, all this old gritty white, I'm hoping to kind of clean it up a little bit, and then the new white's going to get dirty, and then after that, everything's going to match. So we'll see. But like I said, everything is still tacky right now. I just got done doing kind of that 3rd coat, and I'm going to go ahead and throw the motor in it. A couple things about the motor. I haven't really talked about this motor much, but just kind of give you an idea of what I'm working with. It's a stock K20 A2 out of a 2003 RSX Type S. So it's got a 6-speed trans with an M Factory diff in it. M Factory, the company, not factory as in factory Acura. But anyway, nice, fairly expensive differential, quite honestly. Bone stock motor. It made 195 wheel horsepower. It has EF Hasport mounts, which I do have new bushings that are stiffer coming for it because now's the time to do that. And maybe I stop breaking the header or cracking the header. Let's see, it's got a couple aftermarket gauges. I run AMS oil filters and AMS oil. It's got a eBay intake because, quite frankly, I needed something just to kind of pull down beside the motor here. It's got a K&N filter with a bag on top of it. Let's see, it's got AC and power steering delete, obviously. And, okay, a couple K10 hoses. I put a new water pump in it and things like that. But, so these motors are known, to be fairly high revving. I think this one revs out 83 or 8600 RPM. And it likes the revs, has high oil pressure. This one has the good oil pump. So it's really a great starting platform. And with that being said, pretty soon you're going to see a couple things I'm going to add. I think I'm going to drop the pan and add a baffled system in the bottom. And I'll go over the reasons for that later, as well as I think an AccuSump as well. And it's all due to the track that I'm going to and why I feel that that's really, really important this time. So those upgrades are coming, and when they get here, I'll go through that. I did get the stud out of the motor in the back, the broken one, by welding on a nut. So pretty simple trick. Worked out pretty well. And then I also, if you can see here, fixed that header crack, and hopefully those new mounts will stop that from happening. I think it was a combination of the new mounts, but since I was looking at the runner length and which ones cracked, it was all because of that stud had broken probably for some time and I didn't notice it. So yeah, throwing the car back together. Back there you'll see a wing sitting on top. I'll talk about that too, and kind of the aero setup that I'm going with. But yeah, here we go. I got a few minutes, so I figured I'd give you guys a date and, basically say, here it is. I've got 6 or 7 days, and most of those days I'll be working, so I really don't have 6 or 7 days. I'm only getting a couple hours at night, so it's worth my time. Just let me stick the motor in, even the paint's wet, and see what happens. So other than that, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate it. If you have any comments, of course, if you got any questions about the build, feel free to comment below. And yeah, wish me luck. Talk to you later. Bye.